Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are here for Boruto episode 205. So, the last two episodes were crazy. We had Naruto and Sasuke versus Jigen, or should I say Ishiki. Um, and we kind of learned a lot seemingly. Like his vessel we knew wasn't perfect, that's why he's working on a new one, but it was fading during the battle and everything. So I imagine he has to go recuperate. I imagine he can't just warp back into where, like, now that Naruto's out of commission and Sasuke's hurt, I imagine he can't just warp back into the area and take Kawaki away, right? But he probably has to head back to his 10 tails and maybe harvest more chakra from it, or something like that, or recover in some way, maybe get help from Amado or something like that. So yeah, I'm really curious with Naruto being sealed away. I think I'm super excited to it stinks. I hate that Naruto sealed away. Of course, I'm worried for him and all that, but I'm kind of excited to see how the Leaf Village reacts with its Hokage and, strongest person just gone. They do have Sasuke there, who knows that Naruto is being sealed away, so at least he can be like, "Hey, Naruto's alive." As at least as soon as he can talk again, he can relay that info. But I wonder how fast that info is gonna move, because we ended the episode with Kawaki's arm falling off, which was powered by Naruto's chakra, which means that a lot of these people are gonna think the worst, until they hear otherwise. So I'm really excited to see the fallout here this episode. So let's get started, shall we? All right, we're going to start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Do 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 do. Water. Do 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 do. Oh man. I was trying to see if there was any symbolism. I guess maybe the most symbolism there is like Naruto fading and then Boruto being there, but it wasn't really fading. It was more like just a flash to Boruto from Naruto. So I don't think I could have made any predictions on the opening and suspected this to happen, kind of thing. Proof. Ooh, I wonder if that has to do with finding out about Naruto. Proof, maybe. Oh, yeah. Damn it. Couldn't they just trust him? Putting up a barrier. I talked about this in the last episode. I really hope this doesn't ruin any kind of trust with Kawaki and the Leaf. Alright. Okay. Not the most friendly approach, but at least he's giving him his little bit of freedom. Yeah, just tell him everything you saw. Yep. Yeah. Right, so they're kind of piecing it together that something could have happened. Well. Right. And now they're gonna get the message about Sasuke being back and hurt or something. Oh, he knows. Not conscious, damn. Yeah, that's something you let her know. That's her dad. Hmm. I mean, I guess it is reasonable to think that Kawaki came, got close to Naruto, and then Jigen teleported to him. Yeah, to take care of Naruto. Obviously, we know more, so I don't believe that at all, but. Hmm. That's why the episode's called Proof. I'm glad Kawaki's understanding. I'm so happy about that. Thank God. Because this could have went a totally different way depending on how Kawaki responded. Barely any left. 10 days. In his critical state. I think that means that he could break out if he was, like, fully healed. Interesting wording. Oh, okay. Yeah, he was happy about seeing the horn thing show up, right? Interesting. Oh, shit. The horn that Boruto has. Hmm. So they're just. So their plan is to just do the same thing that Kaguya is doing? Or I guess Madara started. Ah. Damn. And Boruto away. Okay. Slightly disappointed that his plan is to do the same thing that we've already seen before in the other show, but it's fine. Yeah, he makes a good point. I mean, Shikamaru doesn't have the insight that we have about Kawaki and everything, so I didn't miss a line. Who are they sending to protect the vessel? I didn't miss that. I apologize. Code was going to get someone to protect the vessel, right? Maybe it was Boro. He was like the only one that wasn't there, right? But I'll go back and look after this and get the name. Or sorry, not the vessel, but the container holding Naruto. My bad. Okay, what are you up to? Oh shit! Oh, Boro managed to get someone in the leaf to contact him. Interesting. Oh, okay. Interesting. Gonna question him about the frog in the airship too. Maybe. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think he has. Okay, Kakadori. Hmm. Alright. Yeah, it was a frog. The background music. Did not expect that response. Hmm. Alright. It's interesting. This guy. He's all about it, man. He's being summoned because I'm pretty sure he's the one that's going to watch the container. Like he's just sitting there, like thinking back. They're all just watching him. Oh, Jigen, you piece of shit. Oh, man. Oh, interesting. No, not the vase, don't break it. Is this going to be the proof, maybe? Something that he didn't have to do? So he's heard about it. Yeah. Yeah, you can make that. Once again, he's just integrating himself into the oh! What? How? Is he somehow transmitting through it from inside the container, or does that mean he's out of the container? What? I... Hmm... Okay, interesting. Interesting. Are they gonna try to make a portal there? Oh shit, and then Boro's gonna be there. Oh shit! Alright, Shikamaru, you better go too. Please. Hmm. Makes sense. Oh, well. Ah, he's absorbing it. Damn it. Oh, okay. I thought Mitsuki was gonna stop him. I was like, oh, interesting. They're gonna have to fight Boro or whoever is gonna be guarding it, right? I imagine. Well, you failed your mission, Shikamaru. Shit! Ah! I want to see more! That was a good episode. Damn it! Ah. Man. I will say... Shikamaru was a little cold this episode. Like, I know he's probably got a lot on his mind. Things are going crazy with Naruto being taken away. You know, that's his primary concern, is figuring out what happened there, securing Kawaki, and making sure nothing happens to the Leaf. But for someone as smart as him, he kind of just haphazardly told Sarada that her father is critically injured in the hospital, not even conscious, and like didn't even say it to her. He mentioned it as like a side thing, as another part of a conversation, and this is something he knew. You would think he would let Sarada know in like in a little bit more of a polite manner, just been like, Sarada, by the way, I just got word that your dad's back from the mission. He's really hurt in the hospital, you know? Like, I don't know. It was just, I love Shikamaru, but he was a little bit cold there. But all right, guys, that is it for episode 205. So, I will say, I'm not gonna go back. I'm not gonna go back and check who it was that's gonna be guarding the container, because I just saw the first frame of the preview, And it was, unfortunately, I saw it, but it's not that big of a deal because they told us in the episode who was going to guard it anyway. Boro was standing there with like his arm around the container as like the first frame of the preview, so I don't have to go back because it's obviously Boro. But yeah, okay. So to kind of continue what I was saying, even though I think I've said most of what I needed to say, yeah, with the whole Shikamaru thing, I can understand his skepticism of Kawaki. All that's perfectly fine. It makes sense, you know. It's very possible that Kawaki's main purpose was to come here, gain like the sympathy and trust of everyone here by doing basically anything you try to use as proof. He could say like, "Oh, that was just him trying to gain your trust," you know. Got him close to Naruto, and then when they weren't suspecting it, had, you know, Jigen teleport in and take Naruto away. You know, so like this, from Shikamaru's eyes, this could have been all part of the plan. We've obviously had a bunch of episodes of character development for Kawaki that Shikamaru doesn't know about, you know, so obviously I don't believe it one bit that Kawaki is a spy, you know. And we've even seen Kara's side of conversations, so, you know, obviously that wasn't there to make us think that Kawaki was a spy. It was there to give us understanding as to why Shikamaru is doing what he's doing, you know, and it makes sense. I definitely understand why he's doing that, but yeah, so they locked him in a barrier and everything, although he's out of it now because he poured it away. But I really, 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 really liked their decision to make Kawaki so understanding, because it would have been very easy in a lot of other anime, I've seen it before, where they try to confine a character and they know that they're innocent and they refuse to accept it and they get angry and frustrated and lash out, and then things get worse, you know. And I think that it could have been very easy for them to create that drama by having Kawaki be like, "No, I'm not being a prisoner again. I've already been a prisoner. This is bullshit. I did nothing wrong," you know, and like resist and cause all kinds of issues. But no, he was like, "No, I understand. This is happening because I was here, you know. This is, you know, in a way it's my fault just by my presence being here." You know, so I really appreciate that they took that road. That was just absolutely fantastic. But yeah, we have some info that Jigen will take 10 days to go back to having like a full tank of chakra, so that's interesting. But that's a decent chunk of time of having him out of commission. But I mean, I guess they're hoping that Naruto stays sealed up for those 10 days. He gets back to a full tank, then he just goes back for Kawaki and Boruto, easy peasy. The other thing that Jigen was saying was that there's no way that Naruto can break out of it in his critical state. The way he said that implies that if he wasn't in that critical state, he'd be able to break out of it, you know? So I wonder, with Naruto having, like, I wonder how that seal works, right? Like, So I have a few thoughts here. My original thought was, does the seal lock him at like a point in stasis, so he's always at that point of being in a critical state? There's no chance for him to heal and recover chakra. Is he always stuck at that weakened state? Or is he like, could he be awake in there and healing, because he has like regenerative abilities through Kurama and everything, so he could just heal from the wounds and then just build up his chakra by relaxing in there, maybe, if that's possible. But originally I was thinking it was going to be like a stasis thing where he wasn't going to be able to heal, because I felt like it would be kind of anticlimactic if in just like a few days Naruto just busts out of it and then that's that, you know? But I now think that there's a chance that he could be like awake in there, and it could be something where he is like healing up in there and stuff because of Kawaki's arm turning back on. Because I assumed that it turned off because of the seal. But the fact that it turned back on and Naruto is still stuck in the seal means that Naruto can still transmit his chakra to that hand while being sealed off. I will say, I don't know that I'm a big fan of that development. Like, I like that it allowed them to, like, find the location and teleport there, and it's gonna move the story forward. But I kind of wish they, like, did it another way and didn't, like, reactivate the arm. Because I liked the idea of, like, oh, Sasuke's unconscious, so they can't hear what happened, which means they're gonna be thinking the worst, and I wanted to see how they reacted when they were thinking the worst, you know? But now, you know, they have the arm turning back on. And I guess I also like the idea of the arm deactivating because Naruto got sealed away. Like, it doesn't seem like a very effective seal if he's able to channel chakra outside of that seal, you know? Like, does that mean that if Naruto had some shadow clones alive outside of the seal, and because, okay, bear with me, this isn't the case, because obviously he, like, went unconscious or something. So, like, did Naruto lose consciousness because of the damage he took when he got sealed? Is that why the arm cut off originally? I assume. Which obviously would mean it would get rid of any shadow clones that he had. But if we made it, like, in a what-if situation, if Naruto never went unconscious after that sealing, the arm would have never faded, and does that mean since he can infuse chakra to that arm that's outside of it, could he also have a shadow clone outside of that too? Outside of that seal still running around? I don't know, I just like the idea of that seal, like, locking him off from the outside world, but obviously now that he's in there, he probably can't send any shadow clones out, right? But he is sending his chakra out to the arm. I don't know. I will say that I'm not the biggest fan of the arm coming back on. I think it would have been better if it didn't, like, maybe they could have done anything and I would have believed it, you know, like if Kawaki just said at one point during this episode that because of the arm, he can, like, remember the faint traces of the, you know, Lord Seven's chakra and is able to find him, you know, I would have just bought it. You didn't have to, like, reactivate the arm for that to become a possibility. And then they could have ported there and they could have seen, you know, that container and assumed that he was trapped inside of it. But I don't know. That's just me, but oh well. This is what they decided to do. I'm sure it works out. I'm sure I'll get a comment or something saying, like, hey, dummy, this is how chakra works and you forgot this, you know. But and it'll explain all my confusion. But because I was trying to think of, like, another situation where something was sealed away but was still giving off chakra, which I guess you could say that the Nine Tails was sealed within Naruto and was still giving some of his chakra to Naruto. So technically, we have seen seals happen with oh, I just spit everywhere. We've seen seals happen with chakra leaking through them, right? So I guess it's not unprecedented. I was trying to think of what other seals we've seen of, like, people being sealed away or whatnot, but I guess I can't really think of another seal where, like, an individual with chakra was sealed. I'm sure there is a situation because they've done a lot with sealing and everything, but anyway, moving on from that, they mentioned that Boruto and Kawaki will awaken as a perfect Otutsuki. So I guess my curiosity is, I'm really curious about how this karma mark works, because obviously we saw that Kawaki is moving closer to taking the form of a, Otutsuki, with getting like the horn and everything. So he's taking on Ishiki's power. But does that, like, if he goes on long enough, like, say Ishiki doesn't do anything, if you just keep letting him grow and that karma mark to grow, will he just stay as the person Kawaki but have the abilities of Ishiki? Or will he eventually, like, his personality will be, like, overwhelmed and taken over by Ishiki? Or is that, or does, like, Ishiki taking over that body, does that have to be, like, a conscious thing, like, where Ishiki transfers from the body of Jigen over to the body of Kawaki? And if he never does that, it would never happen? Like, I guess my question is, with Boruto now having this mark, being Momoshiki's vessel, with Momoshiki being dead, is eventually Momoshiki's personality gonna start emerging from Boruto, or like fighting Boruto from within? Because with Momoshiki being dead, how would, like, if we assume that it worked the way where, like, Ishiki has to transfer himself into Kawaki, how would Momoshiki do that, And why would he put that mark on Boruto if it wasn't the first way I said it, where it just, like, eventually starts to take over Boruto's mind kind of thing? I don't know. Also, I was thinking about it before. I've gotten so obsessed with the idea of Boruto having this karma mark that I didn't really stop and think about how Boruto's eye used to do a weird thing, and we never really got an answer as to what that was. And then once we got this, like, karma mark and everything, I just kind of stopped thinking about it. But his eye was acting up prior to Momoshiki giving him the karma, which means that Boruto has some kind of special ability of his own prior to Momoshiki's involvement, if I'm not mistaken. And that just hasn't come back up at all. I'm curious, like, when that could play a part. Like, it's been a lot of episodes. I hope I'm not forgetting something, like, where they explained that eye was something, and why we're not seeing it now. Maybe they did explain it and I'm just not remembering. I haven't rewatched any bit of Boruto since I started, and I watch, every now and then I watch 2 episodes, but if we're on 205, I've been watching this thing for like 3 years, or maybe even longer than that, probably even longer than that. So, like, it's been a while since I saw the early stuff, but yeah, we've seen Boruto's eye stuff from, like, the first arc we had it activating, or one, maybe not the first arc, but one of the early arcs, because that was back with Sumire and everything too. Like, I know his eye activated back then and all that, because he was, like, the only one that was able to see, like, Nue, like, draining people's chakra and stuff like that. And that was, I'm pretty sure that was before the Momoshiki stuff. So, interesting. Either way, yeah, I'm really curious as to, awakening as a perfect Otutsuki. Like, what does that mean for the long run of, like, say, Boruto? Like, I do wonder if it's going to come down to, Boruto fighting the will of Momoshiki from within him, and does that mean Boruto is going to kind of have, like, a Kurama inside of him in a way, talking to him and stuff, and maybe Boruto can make friends with Momoshiki somehow or something by the end of the show. I don't know. It's interesting, but they plan on taking Boruto as well, so that's interesting. I mean, it makes sense. He has that same mark that they're all after with him. So, but yeah, I really look forward to learning more. I liked the conversation that Kawaki was having, saying, the way that, like, Naruto looks at me, like, how can he... Basically, he was saying, how can he look at me that way knowing who I am and everything, you know? And I like how even Sarada was saying that, you know, that's how Naruto is. That's how Naruto treats everyone, you know. She even feels the same way where she, you know, it feels like she's family when she's around Naruto and everything. And that's really cool because we obviously know that all through Naruto, like him growing up, he's always inspired people, you know, and he's always been that kind of like inspiration to those around him, and everyone just looks up to him and wants to follow him. And now that he's older, everyone looks to him as like a father figure kind of thing, or like a family member and everything, and he makes them feel that way too. And I think that's just a really cool thing for like a little feature that Naruto has, you know, to him and everything. So that was just a really cool little conversation. We got a little bit of insight into Sarada saying that she got like feisty and angry with Boruto a lot because, you know, she was jealous. She was jealous that he had the Naruto as a father and everything. And I mean, obviously the thing is like Sarada is probably the one that like almost more closely relates to Naruto in the sense that, you know, Sasuke's gone a lot, you know, and I think wasn't Sasuke gone on like a really long mission and she like didn't even see him until she decided to like leave the village and go find him? And didn't she like not even really know who her father was because he's been gone since like her birth or whatever? Um and now he's around more, you know, and obviously it's in a way it kind of mirrors the Naruto and Sasuke relationship when they were younger a little bit, because Sarada didn't know what she had because it was gone since she was born, kind of like Naruto, you know? And Sasuke back then knew what he had because he had parents and then they were killed. So like Boruto is kind of like Sasuke in that regard, except Naruto's not killed, he's just being taken away by his job constantly. You know, so like there's a little bit of comparison there that you can make with that of like, you know, Boruto does have this family that maybe Sarada always wanted and was jealous of, but what Sarada doesn't realize is that just because, you know, his father is this nice guy that treats everyone like family doesn't mean that the way he is at home is like absolutely perfect too, you know? Like he still wasn't around as much as Boruto would have liked. And to be honest, Boruto was probably a little jealous in a way that Naruto treated everyone like family, because that made it seem less special when he comes home to them as, you know, his real family. It's just like a really interesting dynamic that they have, and it was really interesting Sarada bringing up this idea that she was, you know, jealous of Boruto and everything. So that was really really neat. What was the last thing I wrote down? Oh, take Boruto too. I already talked about that. All right. I felt like there was one more thing I wanted to talk about. I guess we had an interesting conversation between Koji and Boro. Koji seemed to play off everything that he's been doing and maybe bought Boro's trust for now. It seemed like it when he left, but I wouldn't be surprised if Boro was still like a little bit suspicious, you know? But I do wonder, because we didn't get to see all of this stuff, I do wonder how much of what Koji said is just bullshit, you know? Like, was he really told by Jigen to put that frog there? We don't know. I'm fairly certain we weren't told that back then. I don't think, you know, because I don't even think we really knew Koji and like existed until after. Especially, I know it wasn't frogs because we didn't know that Koji did frog stuff until he appeared at the whole Mr. Owie thing, right? So, but yeah, I don't think we ever got to see Jigen telling Koji to do that. So he could have just been bullshitting and came up with really good excuses to cover his ass. But yeah, I'm just still really wondering what's up with Koji. I hope it's something. I kind of hope it's something good, like he's a good guy in some way or another. You know, I think that'd be really neat, but I don't know if it's gonna be the case. But yeah, so much stuff this episode. I really like this episode. I'm just so excited to watch more. I like watching this Fallout stuff. I kind of wish like we got to see a little bit more of like what was going around on like what was going on in the Leaf and everything, you know? Like we only briefly got to cover like Sasuke, granted he's unconscious, so there's not much to develop there, but I think it would have been like I still would think it would have been cool to see Sarada go there and like see her injured dad, but she just kind of took off with them through the portal, so she's gone. Would have been interested to see like Ino and what she's doing and like, you know, prepping the village and everything, and we didn't get to hear anything about Konohamaru. I'm sure he's gonna be fine, you know, but he was pretty hurt on the ground and everything, but yeah, maybe that'll be something that we can jump between, maybe, now that I'm sure we're gonna have a fight with Boro or something over all that. So, and I guess this makes sense because I think some of the fights in the opening look like they're taking place in this other dimension. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, obviously they're gonna have to fight. Like if they want to get Naruto unsealed, you know, Boro isn't just gonna let them unseal. So, but oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. They mentioned their plan being to create another divine tree in order to create another chakra fruit or whatever they call it. Which, as I said during the episode, I don't know that I'm like the biggest fan of them doing the same thing. This is what I was worried about back when I said the same thing when we saw Victor and Deepa doing the same stuff, you know, when they were trying to make a divine tree. I wasn't the biggest fan of it just because it feels like it's retreading the same story. Maybe this is just what Jigen or Ishiki is telling them they're gonna do, and it's not his real plan. Maybe there's more to it, you know? But it does feel like it's just reenacting what old Naruto did. So I do hope that there is a twist on it other than it just being a different individual trying to do it, you know? But we'll just have to wait and see, you know? Especially because I don't know, because like the infinite Tsukuyomi was never supposed to be a part of the divine tree, right? Like, I guess when it wrapped you up, it put you in the genjutsu kind of world, right? But like, didn't it originally start with like Madara wanting to like reflect the eye off the moon and like put everyone in the world in a genjutsu? But it doesn't quite work that way because it wraps everyone up and eats your chakra. But I guess it still did put them in a dream world, so interesting. But yeah, I kind of hope there's more to it because I feel like it's just going to be something we've seen before. It's just going to be like, how do they beat it this time, you know? So maybe there'll be something more to it, but yeah. Anyway, we'll just have to wait and see. So that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more from me. You can see a couple episodes ahead through my early access tier, as usual. My Patreon exclusive tier is there as well, where you can see all kinds of unique content from me on there. So check that out if you're interested. Thank you so much, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.